Okay, guys, here we are back with Movie of the Week. Now, don't forget, lads, we have the top 50 movies voted by all of you. We're splitting it down into 5 episodes. Now, we've released the first one, so there's 5 altogether. So episode 1 was movies 50 to 41. Now, the next release dates for it's actually getting quite popular. It's very cool. And guys, this took me over, I think it was a year and 2 months, in fact. I think I got the timeline wrong last week. But it's a year and 2 months it took me. And this was my plan a year and 2 months ago to do a top 50. I've rated over 150 movies and voted by not me, by you guys out there. Right? It's very exciting. I mean, I was even saying on social media a few days ago that it's taken me so long that you'll even see me with different lengths of hair. Stubble, no stubble, different t-shirt, shorts, winter jacket. It's crazy. But it's been incredible fun. So guys, just before we get going on Movie of the Week here, so the other release dates for the other 4 episodes are, so 50 to 41 is out now. Film 40 to 31 is out the 14th of November. Film, let's see what we have, 30 to 21, 12th of December. Film 20 to 11 is the 19th of December, and film 10 to 1 is the 26th of December. So as you can see, they're not in continuous week after week, right? Because obviously we cover Formula 1 and we do a movie of the week, but if we don't have a Formula 1 one, then it's all about the movies, right? So that's why there is this bit of a split over a couple of weeks. But guys, anyway, we're having a blast with it. So, Movie of the Week. Now, guys, is this the funniest comedy of all time? I think it has to be. I've gone back and forth so many times, but Tropic Thunder, lads. You know, there are movies, and then there are meta movies. Do you know what I mean? And films so stupid that they end up saying something like profound about the entire industry they're taking the piss out of. And then there's Tropic Thunder. A movie so ridiculous, so over the top. It makes you think, did Ben Stiller actually lose the plot? Did he lose his mind or became an absolute genius? I'll go with the latter. The guy is a genius. You know, even Robert Downey Jr. said he's the Charlie Chaplin of now. You know, like a fake movie. Let me get this. Hang on. So, what it's all about, a fake action movie about actors pretending to be soldiers. I hope I'm making sense here. Who accidentally become real soldiers in a real war, a jungle war. You know, it's Hollywood's collective ego fell into a blender and Stiller hit puree. You know, right out of the gate you get fake trailers like, what was it, Scorcher 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ben Stiller's character, Tug Speedman. Oh dear Lord. Milking a dead franchise like a dairy cow with PTSD. And then you've got the fatties, Jack Black, sorry. And then you got Al Pacino. Yeah, Alpa, A-L-P-A, and then Chino, C-H-I-N-O. Obviously a rip-off of Al Pacino, of course, and has this booty sweat. And then you've got Robert Downey Jr. I mean, if this wasn't the most controversial role ever, Robert Downey Jr. playing a black dude, playing an Australian white dude, I see, I'm even getting confused. I don't even know where you start with that one. You know, from the second the Paramount logo burns into that opening trailer, lads, you know you're in for a funny show, like a chaos. You know, it's not a normal comedy. It's not. This is like Ben Stiller giving the middle finger to the entire Hollywood system. And, you know, it's wrapped in a grenade, dipped in protein powder, and shouted by Tom Cruise in a fat suit. Yeah, and did you know that? Tom Cruise wanted big hands. He wanted the bald head, the fat suit, and big hands. He pictured his character, and he actually said he needs to have big hands. The guy became Satan with a BlackBerry. Peter. Wow. The conflict in Tropic Thunder isn't just in the jungle. It's in Hollywood's soul. Okay? You've got 5 egos. And they're the size of continents, the eagles. It's ridiculous. Trapped together in a fake Vietnam movie, right? That's what they're making in the jungle here. And you got Tug, the washed up star, one flop away from Comic-Con panel obscurity. And then, you've got Kirk Lazarus, Robert Downey Jr., playing a 5-time Oscar-winning Australian actor. Yeah, 5 times. Jeff Portnoy, you've got, as in Jeff Black, Al Pacino, of course. And then poor Kevin Sandusky, if memory serves me, the rookie actor who's the only one who's actually read the bloody script. Like, seriously, no one's read the script as the actors. And then it's not just gunfire, it's kind of ego warfare. And then you've got the director, right? Steve Coogan, sorry, who loses control, right? Producers screaming on phones, you've threatening to blow the setup if they go over the budget, and here's where IMDb gives us a little gem. The character Flaming Dragon, by the way, hilarious. They're actually modeled on real child soldiers from, I think, Myanmar, or something. A chilling real-world anchor into all this madness. And Ben Stiller has it in here, like. And Ben Stiller's juggling Hollywood vanity, drug addiction, war trauma, and racism. And somehow, it's still a comedy. I'll never forget when I saw Tropic Thunder in the cinema. It is without a shadow of a doubt. I have never laughed so much in my life as I did with that movie the whole way through. I mean, I thought Wolf of Wall Street, that scene where Leonardo DiCaprio, he's drugged up and he's climbing from the golf course steps and into his Lamborghini, and he's, I'm in the country club, right? And he's talking really weird. Like, that was the funniest thing I've ever seen in the cinema. But this is the funniest movie. I've never been bowled over this much with a movie ever. Here's an interesting one for you. Ben Stiller, because he's been around acting for so long, he saw like that when characters get into war movies, a lot of the times he says that a lot of them think that they're actually real soldiers, and he always said to himself, man, what if these guys were actually in a war? Like, who do these idiots think they are? And that was the DNA of Tropic Thunder. Can you believe that? That's pretty good, man. And when it became the largest film production ever shot in Hawaii. They literally turned part of the island into Vietnam, which was very cool, complete with helicopters, explosions, and a fake heroin lab. And the locals thought the explosions were a military exercise, believe it or not. And Downey Jr. later said that it was the most fun he's ever had developing an actor, and the most dangerous, and he says, I don't break character until I quit the DVD commentary. You're like, he stayed in the accent between takes. Like, the guy is an absolute comedy genius, and then you've got Jack Black. Oh man, constantly begging for heroin whenever he's seen. He's the guy in the background all the time. Like, he's all of a sudden, all the story develops, it follows through, and it rolls on, moves ahead, and then all of a sudden they just flash to Jack Black having a complete meltdown over heroin, and it's just the perfect antidote, man. So here's where the movie goes unhinged, right? So the director's getting fed up now, okay? And he decides to go guerrilla style, right? It's just not coming together. So no scripts, right? No trailers, just cameras hidden in the trees, and the guys have got to get their way through. Right, and they're all scattered across the jungle all the way through, right? The hidden cameras. And problem is, they wander off script and straight into the territory of real drug lords in the movie, right? And the actors still think it's all part of the movie. So, and Ben Stiller's character Tug, he's like, we're making history here, guys, and he's trying to show off for the cameras, and then you got Lazarus, who's just, he's adding two and two together. Something's just off here, man. It's not adding up. And he's lecturing everyone on racial sensitivity while wearing blackface. And then you couldn't make this film today without being cancelled mid-trailer. There's just no way. There's no way you could make this film these days. Too many woke, too many sensitive, offended people. But that's the point. It's Hollywood mocking itself. I mean, we need movies back like this, lads. We really do. Stiller had to fight the studio to keep the Simple Jack storyline. I won't even mention anything about Simple Jack. It is unreal funny. Executives wanted it to cut it for fear of backlash, right? He refused. love the balls, man. And yes, the controversy came, right? Groups protested, offended, blah, blah, blah. But Ben Stiller, he held firm, man, because the joke was never about disabled people, okay? And if you're thinking, oh, God, Peter, you're laughing away at it, guys, just watch the movie and you'll know exactly what I mean, okay? It was about actors exploiting them for Oscars. And then I'm going to say it, and I'm quoting from the movie here, when Robert Downey Jr. says, never go full retard. It's one of the most funniest. Oh, it's insane funny, okay? And guys, I'm not having a go off disabled people. This is like, you need the context. You need to, and they're so serious, right? Downey Jr. is so serious when he says it in the movie too, right? I would be amazed if most of you didn't think it was funny. And and by the time they capture the flaming dragon, you've got Tug being worshipped by warlords who think Simple Jack is actually gospel cinema, right? And then they force him to perform live. They put on the drools, the wigs, and and while his co-stars plot an escape with literal prop weapons, right? It's dangerous. It's absurd. It's perfect. So we won't go into the story too much now, actually, guys. All right, we just keep it a bit of a mystery, right? A bit of a surprise for you, okay? So we'll pack it up here, all right? But what's the takeaway here? Like Tropic Thunder, it's kind of a mirror held up to every actor who lost themselves in their own hype. I mean, Ben Stiller's really having a go off it, like, and he's basically kind of saying, you're all crazy bastards, and I'm one of you, and, Robert Downey Jr., he got an Oscar nomination out of this, quite deservedly. Honestly, I think he should have won it, because it was insane. I mean, you just don't even recognize Robert Downey Jr. in this, You might see him, you can kind of see, but like, if you didn't know it was Robert Downey Jr., I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of you never wouldn't have catched onto it, because there's not once where he breaks character, breaks voice, and he sounds like Robert Downey Jr. again. Now, that's when he's playing blackface, right? When he's playing the white, when he's himself, the white Australian guy, you'd obviously see it, all right? But the movie grossed over 200 million worldwide, which was phenomenal, and people saw whatever they wanted to see. The idiotness, the racism, satire, genius, stupidity. It's the brilliance of it. Even though years later the jokes hit harder because the industry hasn't changed. And actors, they still lose themselves in method, character, and blah, da, blah, da, da, right? I mean, I love acting, but some of it can be crazy, and studios still exploit trauma for Oscars. They do, like. And Tropic Thunder predicted it all. See, next time you see a fake trailer or a celebrity apology video or some actor crying on a podcast about the process, remember Les Grossman covered in sweat, Tom Cruise screaming into a phone. Remember Booty Sweat, Scorcher, Simple Jack. Robert Downey Jr., I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude. Because, we can all be idiots. You know what I mean? Guys, I couldn't rate Tropic Thunder enough. It's insane how good it is.
Peter. Wow.